Are you listening to MKFM? It's me, Simon Tuck. It's Saturday morning. Now, normally, Charlie, we get you up on a Sunday just before the game at 2 o'clock, which I was so excited about. We'll talk about last week's game in just a moment. But it's Saturday, Charlie. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you, Simon?
Yeah, very well. And look, I heard that you've been in lockdown.
Yes. So, unfortunately, missed last weekend's game, and it was an incredibly tough 90 minutes, should I say? Not being able to be there on the sideline, but thankfully all well, fully well. Just naturally the process of being in contact with someone who had become positive. It meant that I had to then self-isolate. So yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't be there last weekend, and that's probably more frustrating from the news that we've heard this week. But yeah, I was listening in, twitching, pacing up and down in my house. But yeah, thankfully we got the win again and another clean sheet. So
Charlie, it was a game. We talked about this last week, and we talked about the fact that it was going to be a tough game, and that was perfect. The defense literally for me shone. Do you know what I mean? Because they suddenly came into their own in other games that I've not seen because of the maybe from midfield onwards they're just like, yeah, it's all about them. Because the defense and Eva and Chloe in goal wasn't really tested at all. But this game was very different. From a spectator point of view, brilliant end-to-end stuff where suddenly we had no idea. We weren't always playing in their half. We were playing in, it was end-to-end stuff at times. And just for me, the person that shone really, Nicola Pepper, just absolutely just amazing, absolutely amazing. Tell me what you saw, because you've watched the video now of the game. Tell me what you thought.
Yeah, so thankfully we have almost like a VO camera which records the whole 90 minutes for us. It takes about a 24-hour process to send off. They kind of rejig all the video, the highlights, and then send it back. So thankfully, it allowed me to watch the full game, and sometimes it's nice. I actually spoke to some of the players to say it's quite nice watching that footage back to observe a game when you haven't been emotionally attached to it on the sideline, because when you sometimes watch back, you already have your opinions because of what's happened during the game. But I would almost just echo what you said there. We knew when we were playing Keynsham, when we were preparing for Keynsham, we knew that what they offer, and we knew they were going to be resilient. We knew they were going to be hardworking, and we knew we had to match that. And on reflection and looking back at and watching the game, we did show that. And at times we didn't maybe match the quality in possession that we've shown of late. And that might have been because of the week off, the previous week, and getting back into our stride and getting back into into being comfortable in possession. But I felt that when we were challenged defensively, we were organised, we battled well, we didn't give any kind of set pieces away. I think it was the 91st minute was the first corner we give away. We knew they were going to be a threat from that, so we didn't give many corners away, free kicks, and again, sometimes in them games it's not always about what you do in possession on the ball, it's also winning them battles. And across the park, again, I felt that we won them battles defensively, through midfield. Even Hannah Barrett as a 9, she had a more difficult game in terms of less service, but even for the sending off, winning that flick on to get Shez in behind. So I felt that we won individual battles, and in the end that allowed us to pick up the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean that. It's tender hooks, right? And the crowd was so excited when Vicky Barrett scored. It was just like an emotional, like, oh yes, we're back. We were back in this, and we were back on the game. We were building to it, and then they get a red card, and that took forever, Charlie. I've never been at a game where a red card took nearly, like, I don't know, what, 8 minutes to decide. Was it a red card? Wasn't it a red card? And just felt at that point maybe the referee should have been a little bit stronger, perhaps, in the game.
Yeah, I did think that reflecting back, and again watching it back, I felt that there was a couple of things to the situation. I felt if she'd have just delayed slightly, she could have held the whistle, and then Shez got back up fantastically well and finished really well. And actually, if she then plays the advantage, it doesn't mean that you never like to see an opposition player get sent off. You never like to see a player get sent off. And maybe if she delayed that decision for 5 seconds longer, we score. And she doesn't have to make that decision. But after she has then blown the whistle so quickly, clearly it states because it's outside the area, it's a goal scoring opportunity. It's the last player. So it does then have to be a red card. But I felt, and again, never like to always kind of criticize referees on decisions. In the end, she come to the right decision. I just felt when I watched it back, she never really had control of the situation. It was almost like she should have pulled that player straight away, because I think watching the video back, there was confusion in the end about who she was then sending off. I think she got confused with one of the other players, and that then took a longer process. So I felt that after, it was almost take control of the situation, speak to the player first, go over to the linesman, then make that decision, and that probably would have made her life a little bit easier as well.
Yeah, and again, I'm not criticizing her, but it just felt like it took a little bit of a while, and it changed into the second half. But I've got to honestly, Keynsham were playing as strong as 11 people in the second half, and there weren't really many opportunities that perhaps we took advantage of that 10-men situation.
Yeah, and I think the second half it was really, really key about. And that's where, as you've spoken about already, where the back four and keeper get the plaudits as well, because it's about them concentration levels. Often, if you are 1-0 up against 10 players, it can almost seem as if, actually, we won the game already. That's game over. And I think we stayed switched on throughout that half. We created some chances. Obviously, got the second goal. When you naturally then go 2-0 up, you feel a bit more comfortable. But as you said, Keynsham worked hard with their blocks with 10 players, and didn't always give us easy opportunities, and we still had to work for them opportunities. And we know from Keynsham previously, Charlotte, their keeper, Charlotte Haynes, is a fantastically talented keeper. And actually, when we did break in or get in behind or create chances, she often was at the end of it producing some really good saves.
Really. And that's what I loved about the game. It was so brilliant. End to end, great saves, great play from both sets of teams. So look, let's talk about this, month off now? So the games have all been suspended until the Portsmouth game away in December. Charlie, what on earth can you do? Because players can't meet, right?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we had that news on Tuesday that it was going to be suspended for a month, which we found incredibly difficult to take at first, naturally because of the tier system in the men's and the female game. And I know there's been a lot of talk across social media about questioning why this has happened, and especially at our level being tier 3. And I think it was a couple of the managers in our league have actually spoken about it actually looks quite poor on the fact that we're classed as deemed as almost like grassroots as such as, and not elite. And some of the games, as I'm sure you'll say yourself, which you come and watch, that they're that elite environment, and we train in a real elite environment. So that was difficult to take, but then it was then changing our mindset to what we can then do. As you said, we can't meet physically, and we can't meet up with the players, we can't train. So now I've just been putting the finishing touches to a monthly schedule, which looks like analysis based on Teams calls, Zooms calls. Then we've got some HIIT sessions with our strength and conditioning coaches online, and then we've got some conditioning that they have to do, or we can track on things such as Strava and runs and such like that. So thankfully I've got a really good team of staff around me that everyone is willing to drive us forward and push us forward. And I think coming off the back of, we've done so well that players maybe who haven't been involved in that starting 11 or not starting games, it's almost like a clean slate when we come back in, because we've had a month off of football. So players, I believe, will be, and I know that culture we change in the standards, that they will be working hard, whether that is not getting many touches on the football, but keeping their self-conditioned, because as you said, it might be a very quick turnaround from when lockdown finishes and then potentially going straight into that Portsmouth game.
Yeah, and and you just want the players to keep gelling and keep being a part of it and keep this winning ways, because again, Portsmouth is going to be just another tough game, right? And they're up there as well. They're hiding behind. I know we're in second place right now, and it's brilliant. We got 15 points, but Portsmouth is still there, right?
Yeah, Portsmouth are a fantastic side, and knowing Jay, what he's done over at Portsmouth, he has built a really good side there, and we knew that last season. And actually, when we've come up against Portsmouth, the last three occasions, we've lost all three. So it's always been a very, very difficult opposition. So we do know for that game that we have to prepare ourselves. We have to get ourselves fully prepared and make sure that we can cover as much as we can when we're off the pitches, as I said, and without being physically in contact with them. Because unfortunately, it comes at a tough time when we go on a good run. But on the flip side, it's nice going into this, sitting second in the league, and actually without not so much pressures, but without having the pressures of maybe not picking up points, maybe of coming off the back of a run where you want games to change that. We've had a run of games where it's been 4 fantastic games. We've not conceded, and I think that's real credit to the women, because actually I've been speaking to a lot of the staff and players, and to go over 400 minutes without conceding a goal, we haven't done that in over 5 years. I was looking through our fixtures and results the other day, so that is a really, really big credit to them. And even when we did do that, we was in the league below against lesser opposition. So it's a fantastic start for us, and hopefully we can just build on that from when this lockdown, or we come out of this lockdown.
We can't wait. It'll be the best Christmas present ever, right, Charlie? That keeping up that performance in the league, and seeing that happen as well. So look, here's what's going to happen then. Next few weeks, we'll catch up with some of the women players, right? And we'll find out how things are going, and what they love about the club, and that would be brilliant if that's okay.
Yeah, and during now lockdown, obviously with weekends now free and free in the diary, I'm going to be hopefully getting a range of different players on, so we can get them conversations going, start to build up some relationships with them players, and understanding what kind of they enjoy doing, and a bit more about them. So hopefully when supporters come down on a game day, when that next is, you can start cheering them on and start having communication with them, because I know that not only do they want to show on the pitch what we're about, but off the pitch as well.
Yeah, no, I love the way they all come over and thank the crowd every week. It's something quite lovely, and there's a number of support. And look, I felt there was like a bigger attendance this week. I don't know what the attendance was. It just felt like there was a lot more vocal and a lot more people coming to see the game this week. So I'm not sure of what the attendance was rate, but we really are looking forward to the Portsmouth game. We're really looking forward to talking to some of the girls. And wow, you've got your work cut out for you in the next few months. But thank the Lord for all those things like Strava and electronic equipment that can help you out as well. Right, Charlie, we will talk to you very soon though, right?
Yes, no, thank you again, Simon, and hopefully this lockdown goes very quickly, and we've got football back very soon, and again, going to build on what we've done already so far this season.